Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I'm gonna come out right and say it. If you're looking at buying a Volkswagen Polo R Line, don't. Don't. And I'll tell you why I say it. So, this is a Volkswagen T-Cross, obviously based on the Polo platform, albeit now raised, so on stilts. This is a facelifted one. It starts at 462,000 Rand. So, why not just go and buy a T-Cross? You've got higher ground clearance. You've got more space in the car. You've got more space in the boot. It feels much more spacious than the Polo. So why not just go Volkswagen T-Cross? This R line in specific that I'm driving, the 1 liter DSG with 85 kilowatts, 503,000 Rand. But it can go up to 533,000 Rand. And I mean, depends on what you're getting really. There's a 1.5. But I mean, this 1 liter makes sense. And hence I'm saying if you're going to buy if you are planning on buying the 1 liter Polo R Line, why not just go 1 liter Volkswagen T-Cross? Same platform, same price ish, more space. Come on, guys. I mean, I've seen a Polo R Line for 520,000 Rand on Auto Trader. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Let's get into it. We're going to discuss exterior, interior, and the drive. So, for the facelifted version, what do you get? You get these newly designed fog lamps, which are now vertical. I prefer these ones as opposed to that big bulb that was on here. We've got these black accents across. Obviously, in true Volkswagen style, a light bar that runs across. There's IQ headlights, which are brilliant at night. I always commend Volkswagen on their IQ headlights. And for this spec, I think it's good. You've got a new R-Line badge on there. And I think that it's just a really good front. You then come to the side and you've got these 18-inch alloys, and I've always mentioned that I think Volkswagen designs one of the most gorgeous alloys. That's the case in here again. You've got the same newly designed R-Line badge on there, your side mirror with an integrated indicator. You come to the side and then you've got these massive, well, not really massive, you've got functional roof racks. My friend and I were actually talking about it now. Are these functional? But I mean, usually when they're not functional, they write do not load. So let us know in the comments if these are functional or not. And yeah, that is the design of the car. The changes are more prominent in the rear. So I'm going to turn the car around and take it and show you the rear before we go for a drive. But I think that I like the changes. I do. At the rear is where you see most of the changes, and it's thank God to these newly designed taillights, which I quite like. I think they look really, really good. IQ taillights, obviously. And in true Volkswagen style, a light bar that runs across. We've got the T-Cross badging right in the middle now, like the rest of the family, and a lot of boot space, really. And I want to show you guys this boot space. Obviously, it's multi-tiered space in here. So right now it's at the top, and you can take it all the way to the bottom. And you've got a lot of boot space. Hence I was saying that I think this makes more sense than the Polo, obviously, because there is a lot of space and there is a spare wheel down there, a tire space saver. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And then obviously a tow bar. This makes for a good addition, actually. I do quite appreciate this. So yeah, guys, let's go for a nice drive. So when you step inside the facelifted Volkswagen T-Cross. One thing that I love immediately is the fact that we've got buttons back on here now. Gone are those capacitive buttons, thank the Lord. So this is the same steering wheel that's essentially in the Volkswagen Tiguan. You'll watch that review on my channel already. We've got an R Line badge on there. We've got a massive digital driver's display. You can cycle through a lot of menus in there, and I mean, I've never really bothered myself in terms of like, oh no, this is clear, this is concise. I've always enjoyed Volkswagen's, digital driver's displays. And while we're at here, you'll see that I've done 490 kilometers. I've got 210 kilometers of range, and this has been my average fuel consumption, so 7.9, not too bad. And then you've got a newly designed infotainment with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is quite cool. You can cycle through a lot of menus, etc. I love this infotainment. We've got the Beats audio in here, which sounds incredible. Screen here for your aircon control, climate control. I know people have always been complaining about these, but I think these are quite cool. They're not that hectic to control really. And let's just switch that off. It's easy to cycle through. You've got your park assist on this car. Your start stop button is on there. Your start engine button, you've got two USB ports, a wireless charger on here. I've always loved also this gear lever, which I think is quite cool. Here's your key for those who want to see. Keyless entry key, let's go. Ooh. And then you've got two cup holders. Oh, an ashtray. It seems that after I mentioned that the Hyundai i20 had an ashtray. I've been getting cars with ashtrays now. That's quite cool. Two cup holders. Space on here, which is quite cool, obviously adjustable to different heights. No panoramic sunroof in here, unfortunately. That is an option, which kind of sucks for me. And these gorgeous seats, I do like the design of this seat, really. This Alcantara feel on here, it just feels really good. I think they've just dressed it up. It's obviously in the base models, you'll get just this cloth, but they've dressed it up in here with fake leather and this Alcantara and just this checkered-ish styling. Let me jump in the rear and show you guys. But I do like everything, these black accents that run across. It's just a really, really good looking package. That's what I'm saying. For me, it's a no-brainer. I'm definitely going for this. Yes. Manual adjustable seats. And I do know that in the segment, there's a lot of competition. You've got the Dashing, you've got the Tigos, you've got a whole lot in that segment that do offer the luxury of electric adjustable seats, but I do think this will come out tops. Let's go to the rear. So in the rear, you've got sufficient space, and this is with somebody who was sitting here who's quite tall, but you can still see there's still space for me, for my knees. There's still massive headroom. You don't get an armrest, unfortunately you don't, so no cup holders or anything, which is quite sad. But I mean, you've got enough space in the door bins to put whatever you want. You've got two USB ports, fast charging Type-Cs. And this is where I complained about, the Tiguan, saying, why is that an option on the Tiguan? Because it's a family-size SUV. It should have this as standard. But I mean, obviously, that's how VW work. You've got some space here for whatever you're going to put there. Then you've got some space in here as well. And yeah, that's the rear. I think there's more than enough space here for your kids, your friends. Hence, I'm saying, why go Polo? Just go T-Cross. Makes sense. Anyway, let's go for a drive. So welcome to the drive of the Volkswagen T-Cross, and I don't want to lie to you, man. It's a Polo, right? It drives like a Polo, and that's about it. And that's the end of the review. I'm kidding. I think for me, I've always been a fan of SUVs, compact SUVs, mostly because I can always see and take bumps nicely and all that stuff. So this obviously, so this has that turbo lag because it's a 1 liter turbo, and it's something that I've noticed as well inside of the Polo R Line 1 liter DSG. I mean, you can just switch to manual mode and there you have it, but there is that lag. I mean, my foot is, and then only it picks up. And that's the biggest problem that I have with it. But I don't think that as a day-to-day driver, you're going to be having that many problems. I think obviously as reviewers we will pick up on these things because it's our job, but the foot on there and on it response. But I don't think that as a day-to-day driver you're going to be complaining about this, because you're just driving in the city or you're going here and there. You then only have to plan your overtaking maneuvers, of which then you can slap it into manual mode and change down to where you want it to be, and then you get that power. Otherwise, I do think that it takes bumps quite well. This 18 inches soak in the ride quite well. It's gorgeous. It's not too bumpy. The suspension is, it's perfect. You can switch to your various drive modes on here, and then obviously you can choose what you want to do. But I think that it's a great all-round package, and this is why I say personally, I'll just go T-Cross over the Polo R Line. And I think this is going to damage those sales for that Polo R Line. But I mean, people do love the Polo R Line, I fully get it, but I do see this somewhat, I do see it eating its sister, cannibalizing that Polo R Line in the near future, especially with the world going compact SUVs. And I really appreciate that. In a world of so many compact SUVs, right, especially right now, there's the Tiggo Cross, there is the Tiggo 7, there is, the Jeto Dashing, the X70, so many that I can mention that are coming from the Chinese brands. This just has a solid drive. Yes, it's got turbo lag, but this feels like a much better solid drive. It's got that drive that's perfect. Well, not too perfect, but the throttle mapping is perfect, whereas the Chinese are struggling with the throttle mapping. So this is where you need to spend your money. Yes, it does feel like you'll spend more money because there aren't many options in here that you'll get, as opposed to, the Chinese coming with so many options standard. But this just feels more solid from the way you touch things, from the way that it feels you sitting in the car, everything, right? It just feels like a greater product as opposed to the rest of the Chinese products. And even for me, it feels like a greater all-round package as opposed to its sibling, which is the Polo R Line, and cheaper. So I do appreciate what Volkswagen has done here. It's a great product. They have, even with the starting prices, they have slashed it from the outgoing models. This is cheaper than the outgoing model. So that's a great thing, essentially. 533,000 Rand for this car, guys. It's trading in, it's somewhat trading in expensive territory, but I think it's worth it. Speaking of money, if you want to save, please head over to the link in my bio and you could save yourself on an insurance quote. Just use the link in my bio. And under 90 seconds you can get a quote from Naked, which I think is quite cool, and save you some buck on your VWT Cross, your Polos, etc. Guys, thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. If you haven't already, please comment, like, and subscribe. Click on that subscribe button right now, guys. I think we've got so much content coming up. I've got a special model for my 10,000 subscriber mark. Yes, it's a Porsche. So guys, please let's do it as soon as possible. Let's get to the 10,000 subscriber mark. I think it's gonna be quite cool, guys. Please, would I buy this car? I personally would, as opposed to the likes of the Chinese compact SUVs, as opposed to the sibling, which is the Polos. I personally would just go straight forward and buy this. So yeah, impressive little package. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you're in South Africa, don't forget, always keep left and pass right. Thank you, guys. Peace out.